Broadcasting to the universe.
From the top of Mount Wack.
Live with no pants.
Here's Zach DeWack.
Greetings, red-blooded, verified Earth persons, and those with no checkmark. It is me, the always dapper podcast babbler, the fly guy with the cream pie, your daddy-o from the radio, and the monkey on the mic. It is me, Zachary Ernesto Wackalina III here. Good morning, beautiful people, and welcome to the one and only No Baloney, extra large and turbocharged DeWack in the Morning Show. Live from the low-rent, sleazy, double-greasy, rhyming, jamming, nitro-slamming Nut Hut Studios here at the DeWack Shack Podcasting Complex at Peachtree Industrial. And if you weren't aware, today is January 20th, 2025. Let's take a look at that birthday list. From the University of Michigan, J.J. McCarthy, a quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. He turns 22. Evan Peters from Dahmer, Monster, The Jeffrey Dahmer Story is 38 today. Movie actor Skeet Ulrich. Ulrich gained notoriety in the 90s for his role as Billy Loomis in the 1996 hit thriller Scream and Chris Hooker in The Craft.
Sam, there is a killer on the loose. He's threatening you, he's threatening your sister. Are you going to run away from who you are like you always do, or are you going to use it?
In 2017, he began starring as F.P. Jones on the CW drama Riverdale. He's 55. Cody Brown from Sister Wives is 56. Stacey Dash, who's Dion Davenport in the classic comedy movie Clueless and the TV series by the same name. She's 58 today.
I hate when you call me woman.
Kellyanne Conway is 58 as well. Rainn Wilson from The Office is 59. James Denton from Desperate Housewives is 62. Creator David Baszucki is 62, known best for creating and heading the Roblox Internet Games Corporation. This software and technology entrepreneur also founded a company called Knowledge Revolution and served as vice president of MSC Software. He's 62. Bill Maher is 69.
I wish I could have been to Epstein's Island.
Guitarist Paul Stanley of Kiss is 73. And astronaut Buzz Aldrin is 95 years young today.
Happy birthday!
And also born on this day, director David Lynch from The Fabelmans would have been 79. He passed away last Thursday. And looking at the death list, Audrey Hepburn passed away in 1993. Meatloaf passed in 2022. Masazo Nanaka, a Japanese super centenarian who gained fame in January of 2018 when he became the oldest living man in the world. He sadly passed away a year later of natural causes at the age of 113. And radio DJ Alan Freed passed away on this day in 1965. Dawson's Creek premiered on this day in 1998. Breaking Bad premiered in 2008. The Founder, starring Michael Keaton, released in 2017. It was a biopic centered around Ray Kroc, the businessman who created the McDonald's fast food empire. And Missing, released on this day in 2023. Moving over to music, in 1964, Capitol Records releases Meet the Beatles album by the Beatles in the U.S. On this day in 1967, The Monkees TV show was shown for the first time in the U.K. The series followed the adventures of four young men, the Monkees, trying to make a name for themselves as rock and roll singers. They went on to sell more than 75 million records worldwide and had international hits, including Last Train to Clarksville, Pleasant Valley Sunday, Daydream Believer, and I'm a Believer.
Take the last train to Clarksville and I'll meet you at the station. You can be here by 4:30 'cause I made your reservation. Don't be slow. Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homegoing queen? train. Now I'm a believer of a train. But down in my mind, I'm in love. I'm a believer, I couldn't live life for a try. Another Pleasant Valley Sunday. Chocolate.
In 1971, Tamla Records releases Marvin Gaye's single, What's Going On, about police brutality from the album of the same name.
Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on?
Also, in 1971, John Lennon meets Yoko Ono's parents in Japan. In 1982, heavy metal musician Ozzy Osbourne allegedly bites the head off a bat on stage in Des Moines, Iowa. In 1983, Def Leppard released their third studio album, Pyromania, featuring new guitarist Phil Collins, produced by Mutt Lange. In 1988, the third Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees include the Beach Boys, the Beatles, the Drifters, Bob Dylan, the Supremes, Woody Guthrie, Leadbelly, Les Paul, and Berry Gordy Jr. In 1997, Ben & Jerry's introduced Fish Food, a new flavor of ice cream named after the rock group Fish. The ingredients were chocolate ice cream, marshmallows, caramel, and fish-shaped fudge. In 2006, High School Musical debuts starring Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens, becomes Disney Channel's most successful TV movie. In 2015, the musical Hamilton, starring Lin-Manuel Miranda and Anthony Ramos, premieres at the Public Theater in Lower Manhattan, New York. It got the Pulitzer Prize for Drama in 2016. In 2017, Sir Paul McCartney was suing Sony over control of the Beatles' back catalog. McCartney had gone to a U.S. court seeking to regain the publishing rights to 267 of the band's classic songs. He had been trying to get them back since the 1980s, when Michael Jackson famously outbid him for the rights. Jackson's debt-ridden estate sold the songs to Sony in 2016. In 2021, some of the UK's biggest music stars sent an open letter to the British government demanding action to ensure visa-free touring in the European Union. Sir Elton John, Liam Gallagher, Ed Sheeran, Sting, and Radiohead were among 110 artists who signed the letter. It said they had been shamefully failed by the government over post-Brexit travel rules for UK musicians.
It happened on this day as if you care.
And moving over to this day in history, in 1961, John Fitzgerald Kennedy was inaugurated as the youngest man and first ever Roman Catholic to become elected president of the United States.
Yeah, boy!
In 1980, in a letter to the United States Olympic Committee, U.S. President Jimmy Carter proposes that the 1980 Summer Olympics be moved from the planned host city, Moscow, if the Soviet Union failed to withdraw its troops from Afghanistan within a month.
Wow.
In 1981, Ronald Reagan was sworn in as the 40th President of the United States.
In the eyes of many in the world, this every 4-year ceremony we accept as normal is nothing less than a miracle.
And then minutes after Ronald Reagan's inauguration, the 52 U.S. captives held at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, Iran, are released, ending the 444-day Iran hostage crisis. In 1986, the United States observed the first federal holiday in honor of slain civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. In 1996, Yasser Arafat was elected leader of Palestine. In 2004, the Salvation Army announced it had received $1.5 billion in donations from the estate of Joan Kroc, widow of McDonald's founder Ray Kroc. In 2005, the 32-year-old Czech man got himself locked up in a Prague pizzeria to have free access to beer overnight. When the restaurant staff left, he broke into a cooler containing a keg, disconnected the pipes leading to the tap, put them in his mouth, and drank as much as he could. The man, drunk and fast asleep, was found by staff the next morning. In 2009, Barack Obama was inaugurated as the 44th President of the United States, becoming the United States' first African-American president. In 2013, Barack Obama was inaugurated in the Blue Room of the White House for his second term. In 2020, the first coronavirus case was reported in the U.S. in Washington state. And in 2021, Joe Biden was inaugurated as the 46th President of the United States, and Kamala Harris becomes the first female VP. And in 2024, Japan becomes the fifth nation to land a spacecraft on the moon on this day with its SLIM, the smart lander for investigating the moon using pinpoint landing technology. Special events for this week. It's National Fresh Squeeze Juice Week. It's Clean Out Your Inbox Week. It's National Activity Week. It's Professionals Week. It's Hunt for Happiness Week. It's National Handwriting Analysis Week. It's Snow Care for Troops Week. And it's Sugar Awareness Week. Special events for today, of course, it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and which coincides with Civil Rights Day. It is Blue Monday, it's Brew Monday, it's Camcorder Day, it's Elementary School Teachers Day, it's Butter Crunch Day, Cheese Lovers Day, it's Coffee Break Day, and it's Disc Jockey Day. National DJ Day might celebrate the work of our favorite disc jockeys, but it stems from the work of one famous jock, Alan Freed, who you might know as Moondog. This 1950s DJ who coined the term rock and roll is the reason we honor DJs on January 20th. Yay! On this day, we celebrate the talents of all disc jockeys, from those playing the chicken dance for the millionth time at a wedding to the radio personalities who help get you through the morning commute. It's Penguin Awareness Day, it's Take a Walk Outside Day, it's International Day of Acceptance. International Day of Acceptance is observed every year on January 20th, and it is the day to fill our hearts with the sublime powers of acceptance. It is important to be accepting of certain things in life. This idea unquestionably holds in the case of accepting the disability of the person. This is a day when people all over the world come together to support and embrace the challenges that come along with having a disability. The International Day of Acceptance was created as a way to recognize social acceptance of disabilities, which lead to Inauguration Day of our mentally disabled president. Oh no, he didn't. Yes, I did.
This is the sound of the morning. This is where you should be.
And here's the horrible scopes. If today is your birthday, you are an Aquarius. Old wives' tales are smutty recollections of sexual conquests. Scraping the barrel doesn't always mean that you have to consume your own waste. A talk show that you overhear today is likely to concern principles on which you base your life. Listen closely, and they might knock down all those principles. Pisces, be wary of emails claiming to be from PayPal or eBay. They are almost certainly your most like a junkie friend trying to get a rise out of you. In fact, they're probably watching you from a webcam placed somewhere around the room you're currently in. We're 99% sure that's where those scam emails come from, people you know. 3 is the magic number, but you may find that 1 is sufficient for you today. Reading through a dictionary is the least effective way to learn about the world. Get out there. There might not be a tomorrow, but all indications point to yes. Aries, rankle is a beautiful word, but may blow your world apart today. Perhaps it's true that you are not the immense stud you once were. Google is about to take over your life. Play responsibly. Taurus, banning people from your house can work, especially if reinformed with large, heavy blocks of swingable wood. When leaving your house this morning, don't forget to lock up and give the children a pat on the head. God is very much a vengeful God, so watch out for falling pianos. God is also a Laurel and Hardy fan. Gemini, if you feel happy today, try to create something that reflects that happiness. Your ideas are plentiful, but are your plenties idealful? Other BS may come your way today. You have a personality that makes people smile, and it's worth exploiting today in any way you see fit. Cancer Moonchild, good luck is not what you need right now. You can do with the services of a made-up superhero called Miracle Boy. Always think, take the easy way out. You won't go wrong. The feeling in the pit of your stomach is going to explode at noon or sometime afterwards. Leo, the greatest fears are about to be supplanted today by a new incredible horror. Any spikes that you see in your power usage may be due to unforeseen and deadly circumstances. Brown is an unlucky color for you today. Avoid it wherever possible. Virgo, you like sea life, but you hate the sea. Your mom and dad grew up in a small village where you met an elderly couple who later died. Indictment is not a word you want to be hearing today, so avoid any particularly aggressive behavior. Today might be tiring, but you will sleep easy this evening once everything has died down. Libra, horrible smells and green patches on your body may make your day turn sour. Position yourself well, for the revolution is almost here. Scorpio, compact discs are very shiny, but using them to attract seagulls in order to bludgeon them to death with your shoe is neither good manners nor entirely legal. Your prejudices may leave you astray today and leaving you requiring 4 or 5 stitches. The stars indicate that walking under ladders is a bad idea for you this month. Sagittarius, electrical things will cause a problem for you today. There is no word etc., and it's definitely not abbreviated ECT. Today will be full of computer-related mishaps. Hope in your heart is all well and good, but you know down deep inside that when your computer crashes, it will not have automatically saved the document you've been working on for the past 4 hours. Hearing clicking noises in your head, it's not a good sign for you today. Capricorn, Bowie is like you are, gentle, robust, always ready to pop back up the charts by providing backing vocals to pretty much any old schmuck. The similarities between you and Bowie are pretty much endless. Hunky-dory, a beautiful phrase that will sum up the day, week, and month for you. You see it's going to be tip-top from here on in, and the smile on your face is going to bug the living hell out of everyone. A film will set you straight about a number of things today and will also serve to kill between 1.5 and 2.5 hours of the day. Probably. Sorry, it's a slow day for you. There's nothing much I can say that will make it any more interesting. And those are your official Dweck in the Morning Horrible Scopes. And remember, don't leave home without them. Today's number for the day is 741 million. That's the number of domestic airline tickets sold in the U.S. each year. Let's take a look at the news. Wine consumption was down a bit in 2024. Yeah, what the industry needs is a hit country song about a guy cleaning his gun on his front porch while sipping on Zinfandel. Scientists say the amount of stripes that a zebra will develop depends on the temperature. Cooler weather zebras have more stripes, while warmer weather zebras have only 1 or 2 stripes in the shape of a thong. A guy who won $2 billion in the Powerball lost one of his 3 California homes to wildfires. At least he'll have the other 2 mansions to cry in. A study proves that what many of us already know. The majority of us are brand loyal to products like coffee, mayonnaise, toothpaste, headache remedies, and cigarettes. Yeah, I know my neighbor's 8-year-old son won't switch from Newports for anything. A study found that drinking large quantities of diet soda can do as much damage to your teeth as meth, but without the street cred. Research shows that each cockroach has its individual personality, but my shoe treats them all the same. Roughly 8 million Americans will get themselves Valentine's Day gifts, and an overwhelming majority of those people are still waiting for themselves to pop the question. Amid the devastating LA wildfires, a 91-year-old photographer in Altadena faced a heartbreaking loss of over 80,000 photos stored on hard drives. John, a former NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory employee and professional photographer, saw his life's work vanish in the flames. Together with his wife, Chris, they evacuated without realizing the impending threat, leaving everything behind, including John's precious photo archives. Sales of print books were up 1% in 2024, the first annual increase in 3 years, with unit sales of 782.7 million books. Adult fiction, up 4.8%, drove the growth, with fantasy in particular up 35.8% in the driver's seat. Sales of romance novels were also up 9%. The top children's book was The Scarlet Shedder, the 12th volume of the Dogman franchise by Jean Rigaud Dav Pilkey. In Brooklyn, New York, a bakery is shaking up the traditional business model by allowing customers to name their price for bread. Tony Urema, the 29-year-old baker, created this concept to make good food accessible to everyone. The Bakery by Textbook, posts Target coffee sales on Instagram and to encourage customers to support their initiative. 70% of customers pay full price for their loaves, while the others pay what they can afford. Urema estimates that 100 loaves are sold daily, making up for the losses on bread by selling coffee, sandwiches, and pastries. Parents in North Houston are questioning a policy at Herrera Elementary School that charges parents $1 per minute for late pickups. The policy states that late fees apply after 3:30, with the charge being $1 per minute per child. The school's principal explained that the collected fees are used to pay front office staff for supervising children after hours. However, the president of the Texas Support Personnel Employees Local 1 has questioned the legitimacy of the policy, stating that it has never been approved by the HISD board. Well, your coffee machine could be one of the dirtiest parts of your kitchen if not cleaned often. Bacteria, yeast, and mold could be growing in your machine because of irregular cleaning, and those little devils don't discriminate. It doesn't matter whether you have a coffee pot, a Keurig, or a fancy espresso machine. Researchers say the part of the machine that stores water is the biggest culprit of disgustingness. Half of the coffee reservoirs tested contain mold and yeast. The intense heat from the machine will kill some of the bacteria, but it's not saving you from all of it. Well, the most stressful time of the day for moms is exactly 8:25 a.m. Getting kids out of bed, dressed, eating their breakfast, and packing school bags was found to leave moms frazzled before they even leave the house. But it is at exactly 8:25 a.m. as they try to get to school on time that stress levels reach their peak. A recent study analyzing over 19,400 participants confirms that parental favoritism exists and is systematic. Researchers found that both mothers and fathers tend to favor daughters, with responsible and organized children receiving more positive treatment. The study examined 5 areas of parent-child interaction: overall treatment, positive and negative interactions, resource allocation, and behavioral control. Birth order plays a role, as older siblings often receive more autonomy. Children who exhibit consciousness and agreeableness typically experience better relationships with their parents. Interestingly, while parents acknowledge their favoritism, children do not perceive significant differences in treatment. A 22-year-old Chipotle worker in Florida has been arrested for hiding a GPS tracker on a woman's car in an attempt to run into her. Tyler Michael Strack of Clearwater purchased the tracker from Best Buy and installed it on the woman's vehicle at her home. The victim discovered the tracker last year and contacted police, who linked Strack to the purchase through a series of subpoenas. Strack admitted to purchasing and installing the tracker during police questioning, saying that he wanted to coincidentally run into the victim. He was arrested on a felony charge. Well, interest in Pokemon cards has grown significantly over the years, with production increasing from 1 to 2 billion cards annually to 3.7 billion in 2020. This number surged to over 9 billion cards produced between 2021 and 2022, then reached nearly 10 billion in 23. By 2024, a record-breaking 12 billion cards were printed. This brought the total of Pokemon cards produced since the game's launch to 64.8 billion. Sweden just announced plans for a facility that will store highly radioactive waste for 100,000 years. There are about 300,000 tons of spent nuclear fuel globally, lots of it currently in cooling pods, but this new repository will consist of 60 kilometers of tunnels built 500 meters down into 1.9 billion-year-old bedrock at a cost of just over $1 billion. And it's time for the wacky side of news. Here's a little black magic. Brandon Lightke drove from Cleveland, Ohio to North Carolina to confront a man about his niece, who, like he said, was using black magic against him. Letke captured the whole incident on video and posted it to his YouTube channel. He said on camera, "You can't use black magic on me. You can't harass me on social media." The video captured the entire confrontation, including the man going to get his gun and explaining to the camera it was for self-protection. At one point, the video shows Letke saying, "I'm sorry, but I have to do this," and punching the man twice in the face. The rest of the confrontation was off camera, but sounds of a scuffle are heard before the video goes black. When deputies encountered Letke, he had injuries to his face and was covered in blood. He was treated for his injuries and then booked on charges of assault, trespassing, conspiracy, and more. Well, a dog in the UK bit off more than he can chew, literally, when the canine ate an entire box of chocolates with the wrappers on, as well as the 5 rubber pet toys. The dog's owner rushed him to the vet after he found his pet looking bloated and writhing in pain. He spent 2 days in the dog hospital. An unnamed woman met a man online and they began dating in Australia. 3 months later, he asked her to a party where everyone would wear white. When she got there, no one else was in white. Her guy said he wanted to film a prank wedding for a social media page. She played along, exchanging vows and kissing him at the end of the ceremony. 2 months later, the man asked her to add him as a dependent on her application for permanent Australian residency. When she said she couldn't because they weren't actually married, he said they were, and he had the paperwork to prove it. The bride's signature on the forms didn't match hers, and she went to court. The judge granted the woman an annulment. Well, California mom Madison Peltzer's TikTok video featuring her 31-pound, 6-month-old son Callum has gone viral, with the Detroit Lions football team even commenting dibs on the chubby tot. Callum is in the 99th percentile for weight and height, and his mom says he's just blown up in size since birth. Despite Callum's plumpness, his mom says he's happy and healthy and hasn't even started eating solid foods yet. A Southwest Airlines pilot was arrested for allegedly being intoxicated right before his flight was set to depart for Chicago. The incident took place at the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport on Wednesday morning, leading to David Alsop's removal from duty. The airline confirmed the situation and mentioned that passengers were accommodated on other flights due to the delay caused by the pilot's arrest.
Monday sucks. Monday sucks. It's Monday. It's Monday. ZachDeWack.com.
Well, Bay Area tech giant Meta is making big changes to its workforce. The Menlo Park-based company is planning to push out thousands of workers deemed as low performers starting in February. Of course, they have low performers. They get paid to sit around on Facebook all day. A coyote is being blamed for forcing a flight to return to Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. A United Airlines flight from the Windy City to Phoenix had to return to O'Hare Sunday after its landing gear hit a coyote during takeoff. An injured Wile E. coyote could not be reached for comment. An Australian woman claims she has natural pea-cup breasts, which don't stop growing. 29-year-old Paige Amelia suffers from gigantomachia, a condition which causes rapid breast growth. She has to spend thousands each year on custom-made bras when her cup size changes. Well, at least all her drinks at the bar are free. The city of West Palm Beach is setting a new Guinness World Record. The Cox Science Center put a dent in the Guinness World Record book for having the largest gathering of people dressed as dinosaurs. On Friday night, 468 dinosaurs showed up, beating a previous record of 250. That record may not stand. U.S. Congress has about 535. Elvis Presley would have turned 90 this week. Elvis is one of those singers that gets more popular as time goes by, like nobody that's ever won American Idol. Adam Sandler's $73 million tops the list of top 10 highest-paid stars of 2024, according to Netflix Junkie, and that's just the lead story in today's issue of In Your Face, Uganda. Kim Jong-un celebrated a birthday last week. Everyone in North Korea either spent the day in celebration or execution. A historian thinks that he's pinpointed the oldest known use of the F-word. It was Noah. Oh, fuck, I forgot my wife. Well, an arsonist was arrested in Santa Monica for starting a fire with a gas blowtorch instead of an electric blowtorch. Congress's approved rating is now 13%. They are 2 points ahead of bird flu and 5 points ahead of the Santa Ana winds. The NCAA is going to start paying out financial rewards to women's college basketball teams that participate in March Madness. It's a first for the women's teams. Presumably, it'll be the first basketball team not to blow all their cash at the strip club. Well, a poll says some philosophers claim that the devil isn't real. If the devil isn't real, who went down to Georgia looking for a soul to steal? A report suggests that those who lie have worse physical health than those who don't. On the other hand, telling people what you really think of them can get your face punched in. India's first farting contest wants to judge how loud and melodic your stinker is. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Though the U.S. Navy is going to name an aircraft carrier after Bill Clinton.
Oh, my.
It was inevitable. Urologists agree that you can't sleep with that many bimbos and not wind up being a carrier. This week in 2001, Wikipedia debuted, but I'm not sure because I read it all about it on Wikipedia. Well, Israel and Hamas agreed to a U.S. brokered ceasefire deal. We had Hamas negotiating under Islamic law, Israel negotiating under Judaic law, and the U.S. negotiating under Murphy's Law. Police say rapper Busta Rhymes was hit with assault charges last week after he allegedly lashed out at his assistant for being on the phone during work. It's so nice to see a rapper getting pressed with assault charges instead of the usual murder charges. In India, January 20th is observed as National Martyrs' Day in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. National Martyrs' Day honors anyone eating pork vindaloo for breakfast. Progresso released its Soup Drops candy on Thursday. Progresso says it took the beloved flavors of the Progresso chicken noodle soup and packed them into a fun, savory candy. It's sold exclusively at ProgressoSoupDrops.com for $2.49. The candy comes with free eggs. Those will come to you when you hand out soup-flavored candy at Halloween. According to a survey, 2 out of 5 of us want our lovemaking to be sensual. Okay, but doesn't that cost like $50 extra?
What do we get for $10? Everything you want. Everything? Everything.
Good news, gas is below $2.50 a gallon in Oklahoma. Now, the bad news, to get it, you have to go to Oklahoma. Fed-up farmers in India have started wearing bear costumes to protect crops from monkeys. They got the idea from Disney's Jungle Book. An AI-created Brad Pitt duped a French woman out of tens of thousands of dollars, but still not as annoying as the real Brad Pitt. You can no longer use eHarmony to meet the Los Angeles girl or guy of your dreams. Yeah, they're all on Tinder. Sometimes it's hard for me to look at Joe Biden. Yeah, that lost look on his face is me at the grocery store trying to remember what I was supposed to get. Well, have you tried downloading TikTok? Is it still available? TikTok being banned in the U.S. for allowing China to spy on Americans. Everyone knows that's the CIA's job. Well, there we go. That's another show for you. You've been listening to the Always First, Never Last podcast with me, your host, the incredible edible, Mr. Zach Wackalina. Be sure to connect with me at ZachTheWack.com. That's ZACKDAWACK.com, or call 984-DEWACK1. That's 984-329-2251. Like it, follow us, or subscribe, and please share this show with your cohorts. Thank you, yes, you, for listening. And another thanks to all the wackos, weirdos, reverts, preverts, dingbats, and jelloheads anonymous for any and all listens you can give. It surely means a lot. I'm out of here like Vladimir until next time, and there will be a next time. Don't forget us, I won't forget you. I'm Zach the Wack saying if I'm lying, I'm dying. Grits ain't groceries, eggs ain't poultry, and Mona Lisa was a man. I'll be back Friday, same whack time, same whack channel. Whack out.
Bye, buckaroos.
Copyright 2025.
Oh, let's get out of here.
Get your butt out of bed. Zach Dweck in the morning, here to start your day.